I start by saying all praises to Yahweh, Ma'ashem Yahushai, Ma'ashem Harakah Qadash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and doing well, and shalom to the hopeful elect. Named Paya Allah. And this video is going to be called Born to Lose, Built to Win. And the title is pretty self-explanatory. And really, the explaining that I need to do is in reference to the children of Israel. There are children of Israel, being a man named Jacob, who had his name changed to Israel after wrestling with an angel, right, and asking for a blessing. He had numerous amounts of sons that today populated the earth and known as the tribes of Israel, or otherwise the Israelites. Right, in modern day terms, they're known as so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and it also cast all over the earth, all right? And even so much so to the point where they look like other nations, which they didn't look like in the beginning, going back to their forefathers. Now, as a title, as an explanation to the title, it pertains to them people, right, that are born to lose but built to win. Because presently we're in the last phase, right? Going back 2,000 years ago, like roughly around that time, you had the Apostle Paul basically writing an epistle to the Hebrews in Rome and said that, you know, that we're in the last days. That in these last days, in these sundry times, these last days, I believe it's Hebrews, the 11th chapter or the 1st chapter, escapes me at this moment. But basically he spoke to what? The fact that the children of Israel were in the last days back then, but then even now, that was the beginning of the last days. Now this is the last of the last days, right? The ending of the last days, okay? So basically we're in a cursed state, and that cursed state basically pertains to being born to lose, right? Everything that the Heavenly Father spoke of us concerning the children of Israel in these last days has basically taken hold of us, and in that taking effect, that's why that the name of that title, it says so much. I mean, it's funny enough to bring to mind the song by Nas, Still Mac, the intro, Blood of a Slave, Heart of a King, right? Where it's basically like, you know, we've been through slavery. A better way to put it would be, you know, born to lose, built to win, right? But in reality, we're born to win, right? But we're being built to win as well. But that'll be known in the last days, well, when everything comes into effect. So I've got a few scriptures to expound upon that, and Lord willing, you'll be edified. So it's the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 15. I'm going to read down to verse 20. So now it reads, but it shall come to pass. Now this is the book of, if you know anything about the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter pertains to the covenant the Heavenly Father set up between the children of Israel, right, as a reference to if the benefits they'll have if they follow the covenant accordingly, and then it's followed by what? The curses, everything that will fall upon them to their detriment if they basically didn't follow after the covenant of the Heavenly Father. Alright, so it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe to him all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Right? So if we didn't keep the covenant with the Heavenly Father, all these curses will follow after us, right? And overtake us. Curse shall there be in the sea, curse shall there be in the field. So curse in the sea, you go down right now in the Sea of London. Mind you, one of the foul frogs spoke in the book of Revelation, right? The Sea of London. There's actually signified, you can see over there in the background, that dragon, funnily enough, right? And that marks the entrance to the Sea of London. So the moment you cross that dragon, man, you're cursing the sea. You know I'm joking. Regardless where you are, you're gonna be cursed, right? But just so much so, how are you gonna be looked upon in this sea? They're gonna basically have stereotypes, and that pertains to the curses about being a proverb and a byword, alright? Basically everyone looking down at you, thinking you're a nigger, you're slow, you're wasting space. Why is that? That's because the Heavenly Father put these curses on us, alright? So let's read on. So it says, and curse in the field. So no matter where you go, you say, you know what, I had enough of the sea. I'm heading out to the field. You be out there living off living off the resources of the land, man. You're gonna have some shit happen to you, man. You're gonna have some wild beasts just take hold of your goods, or attack you, bite your leg, give you gangrene, you lose a limb. Anything could happen, alright? And that pertains to what the curse is being put upon you. Alright? Curse shall thy basket and thy store. Alright? So basically, in modern terms, Haggai goes into Haggai 1 and 6. It speaks about you put money in a bag with a hole at the bottom. And basically all your monetary gain that you make basically goes into a bag that just siphons all your money off. Right? And that could be bills, that could be bad habits, that could be curses just happening, you drink away, wallowing in your pain, you drink it all away. It could be anything. Alright? Curse shall the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Alright? But that's the point, the point. I'm gonna head back to that. I want to carry on reading. Curse shall that be when thou comest in, curse shall that be when thou goest out. The Lord Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed and until thou perish quickly. Alright? And that's why you have like gang violence. I don't hear no other nation of people making songs pertaining to, if I can get through the day. I've listened to I've gone through some Lil Wayne music today. See, I keep referring to rappers, man. I listen to too much rap music. But I was listening to Lil Wayne today. Basically, I've gone through his, for nostalgia purposes. He's got various tunes like Carter 2. Before he started getting all that bugged out, crazy shit. I mean, he's always been that. But basically, he had a song called Dear Lord. Right? And the song Dear Lord is basically he's saying I pray the Lord my soul to keep if I die before I wake. Basically saying that. Then he's saying about if he can make it through the day. And everything pertains to the curses basically talking about like I hope I can get through the day. Another song I was just listening to this type of playlist today. Jay-Z, Beanie Siegel, Scarface, what's it called? What's the song, man? Somehow, some way, we gotta make it out of the or something. Jake is the only one singing that. And George Carlin said, the comedian, he said when the white people start making the blues, that ain't our thing. We give people the blues. That's what he said. Because what? Blues music comes from we, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They sing music that pertains to the blues. Because why? We're in a cursed state. We're the ones that are really feeling the blues, right? Jumping back to the point, it says, curse shall the fruit of thy body. Curse shall be the fruit of thy body. So basically, the fruit of your body, when they're born upon this earth, they're in a cursed state. Now, I want to show this through this example in the book of Exodus, because it pertains to us right now. Right now, we're in the modern day Egypt, alright? Which is known as Babylon the Great, alright? Sodom and Egypt. That's why if you travel about 5 minutes up the road, you have two sphinx, what they call Cleopatra's Needle, which is basically an obelisk that goes back to Egypt, that they actually excavated and brought over to the land of England, right? And basically showing you the high level of witchcraft that dealt with in the city of London. They basically set right by the bodies of water to basically put out a vibration to the people, right? And the vibration is what? Sodom and Egypt, right? So this is those same things that pertain to the time of Egypt pertain to us in this time today. That's why I said in the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 68 that we should go into Egypt once again. Alright, and not literally Egypt, but basically the spirit of Egypt being a house of bondage. Alright? So I said, let's read it, Exodus 1 and 5. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob, alright, was 70 souls. And Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation, and the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied and waxed exceeding strong, mighty, and the land was filled with them. And that's something that's known with Jacob. Hey, what do we like to do? One of our many hobbies is, being a plain man dwelling in tents. When you're dwelling on a tent, you're dwelling with your damsel. And, you're going to work. So what happens? You wind up having a lot of children, all right? And that's what happened back in the day, going to the time of Egypt, whereby that there was an abundance of us, and it was a great threat to them in Egypt. Something that's happened today, that's why I have something known as eugenicism, all right? Planned Parenthood, all these things, all right? And increased abundantly, verse 8, and there rose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Right? And it's the same thing today. You have a modern day Pharaoh that's more than aware that the power that pertains to the children of Israel. And he looks at us and says, we're mighty. And this is through the brainwashing of his, through the whisk of his wand. It's basically, the waving of his wand, should I say. He's basically subdued the minds of the children of Israel, the desire to be equal, rather than acknowledging that we're above and better than every nation out there. But that's been done because this man understood the brilliance that pertains to having a strong mindset. Alright, also paired with the ability to utilize that mindset, which the children of Israel have. Alright, engineering, all these things. Engineering is just an extension of your body. Alright, the mechanics of everything. I can go on a tangent because I enjoy engineering. There's certain things that you do that you understand there's a technique to doing it where you get the best out of it. Then when you make a mechanism, a mechanical form of that procedure, you know that you're going to have to set the process in place to basically do those same things, and you get the best out of that engineering. But you have to have the ability within your, have the dab hand, so to speak. There's another word, the Midas touch, all right, to be able to actually engineer something like that. If you don't actually have that ability within yourself as a human being, you won't be able to really engineer something so great or superior. And that's something that pertains to the children of Israel, all right? So our ability was so far greater than this man that he understood. And that's something that they understand in the same day and age today, right? So anyway, so verse 10, it says, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it comes to pass that when they falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses, right? And when you look at the pyramid, right, you got the pyramids over there, they're basically treasure cities. Those are the things that pertain to the children of Israel. That's why they're found also in the land of Mexico, or I believe actually, if not Mexico, you also have it in down there in Central America. It's escaping me where the Mayans are from as well. But basically you have that same infrastructure being built, and that pertains to their ability with the mathematicians pertaining to those tribes, Issachar, alright? So anyway, reading on, it says, verse 12, and the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. That's a gem right there. So it says, the more they afflicted them, the more what happened? The more they multiplied and grew. And that's the same thing. That is part of the title of this video. Born to lose, built to win. Right? Basically, the children of Israel, Sirach, the second chapter also speaks to it as of what? Basically, when you're brought to a lower state, be of good cheer, and when you're brought up to a higher, because the Lord is going to basically bring you up. So basically, when you're brought to a lower state, that's being done what? To chastise you, to basically cut away the fat. Diamonds are made under pressure. Everything, any idiom, quote you can think of that pertains to going through hardship and coming out on the other side, that's basically what happens. The children of Israel, when you apply pressure to them, they get better, man. Right? And that's in our natural state of being. Whereas today, what you got is you got black culture, you got niggas. So it's a totally different kind of mindset. They don't deal with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. They deal with ligament, alright? In simple terms. Right? So verse 13, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with vigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name one was Shipporah, and the name of the other one Puah. Right now, just trying to understand, they basically applied pressure to them. They said, look, they multiplied, so we gonna go harder. They went 10 times, they went extra hard on them. But then guess what? Now it's even showing you that they went to the midwives because they said, nah, there's just too many and they're just too resilient. They're like weeds, basically. Or what they call it, the thing of Greek mythology, trying to tip my tongue. Beside him, where you cut his head and it multiplies and grows more and more. Alright? So basically verse 16, that said, when you do the office of midwife unto the Hebrew women, I see them upon their stools. If it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Alright? But the midwives feared the Most High and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, and saved the men and children alive. Alright? So basically they didn't do it. They said we ain't gonna kill them because they feared the Heavenly Father. Verse 18, and the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said, remember, this man's been applying pressure to the children of Israel, but it went so far to say it ain't enough. We have to start killing them, the man children, so they stop multiplying to make it, we can deal with it if there's less of them. Right, verse 19. And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not of the Egyptian women, right? There's a difference. But they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. So they basically said the moment they sit on a stool and the midwives leave them to prep or whatever they got to do and then come back, the baby's already born, and them Hebrew women have basically picked up their own baby and, cleaned it down and holding it in their arms. So they're saying, right? And it was believable. Why? Because the Pharaoh didn't say nothing against it, right? Before I read on, so that even shows you another thing. That Pharaoh was doing that what? Pharaoh was basically doing what he had instructed them to do. He instructed them to do it in secret, right? Because they could have really still took the baby and then killed the baby, but they weren't instructed to do that. They were more instructed to do it in a way of, in secret. When the baby was born, strangle it to death or something, say it was stillborn, or take it away, basically still do some kind of mischief. So that shows you the same thing that's going on in this kingdom as well. There's a mischievous way in which this man is going about in destroying the children, the seed of Israel. One of them being abortion, right? You have people actually out there that believe abortion is not murdering a child. They think it's just a procedure whereby you can escape having children, where they don't take in the actual idea that they're killing a live human being, right? That's that same secrecy, right, in another manner. So it says, verse 20, therefore the Most High dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. So regardless of everything the Pharaoh done, they managed to become to basically, numerous in number. And it came to pass because the midwives feared the Most High that he made them houses, right? So they basically were blessed as well. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born you shall cast into the river, and every daughter you shall have to save alive. So he basically said, fuck that, they're doing too much. We just need to any child that's born, we just need to put out a mandate and just say we're killing them, all right? And a great insurrection against the children of Israel. So let's close it off on this, Ephesians 4:11. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of the Mashiach, till we all come into the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Mashiach. So what? We're being built up, all right? But in that building, there's what? There's a brotherhood say brotherhood, the set of tutelage, a process, a systematic way of going about it, where the Heavenly Father's risen up men to basically mediate His Spirit to build up those men, right? And they all, and guess what? Term each one teach one is basically where it is. Every brother's going to basically learn from each other, right? Reading on. Verse 14. That we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine, but by the sleight of men and the cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Yeah, we basically got to be more mindful. And basically, those men that have been set up in place, they're going to give us, instruct us in wisdom to basically see through the guile of men, right? The craftiness that's being administered, right? For deception. Verse 15. But speaking the truth, that's the spirit. But speaking the truth in love, may grow up into Him in all things which is the head, even the Mashiach, from whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted, by the which every joint supplieth according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, making increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love. Right? So all this is being done unto edification. But I want to read the scripture and it's flipping in the bud. Ephesians 2:20, and are built onto the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahushua and Mashiach himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the buildings fitly framed together growth onto a holy temple in the Lord, in whom ye also are building together for an habitation of the Most High from the Spirit. So yeah, we're being built through Yahushua to fit into His image, fill into His image, basically pertain unto what perfection. So that's it. Born to lose, built to win, being built to win through the Holy Spirit. So with that, I pray you're edified to the next one. Shalom.